Welcome to Modern Hackers. Please subscribe and do not forget to like the video if you have enjoyed. In this video, you can follow how this BMW M4 from Alpha model transformed to a widebody kit, going through all details. I started with cleaning the body with IPA alcohol. It's important before you priming or painting. It puts more sticking layer, more durable the paint itself. I got the widebody kit from Pixelsun. You can get in the video description the download link. I have 3D printed, oriented. You can get the orientation link in the video description, how to orient it properly, the 3D prints. I used Anycubic printer, M5 printer, and I used the G2Box slicer software. I think this is the best combo for Anycubic printers, but you can also use your Anycubic own software. I used for this printer specific settings for 20 micron height. The print went okay, came out without issues, the supports were okay. You can add more supports or more smaller supports, it's based on your preference. You should at least minimum 50 or 60% support ratio. After the 3D print, you have to cut properly and sand properly the support points. This is a critical point in this preparation process. If you find any surfacing issues, you need to fix, you need to sand, or you need to add filling primer properly. I have used some sanding tools for surface fix of the 3D prints. You can also find these tools in the video description, but you can also hand sanding, no issues in it. This small machine is just helping to sand faster. You have to check all parts are fitting. I have used Vallejo masking liquid for temporary fix of the elements, 3D printed and alpha elements, at least to have seen everything fitting together. It's important before gluing or painting a fitting check. So with this masking liquid, you can temporarily glue them, and without damaging the part you can remove anytime. It's not a hard glue, it's just attached to temporarily. This helped me to have an understanding how it will look, how it will feel when all comes together. The spoilers I did also. Also it helped me in the wheels and the brakes. Sometimes the wheel is a critical element, how it's fitting. And it understood with me that I have to make a wheel-based modification also. So I covered the wheel and I sanded the wheel hubs to the right dimension, because I a little bit widened and a little bit lowered this car. So the wheel have to go under the widebody kit fenders. I have sanded accordingly. The wheel hubs. You can either select to build from the factory Alpha model wheels, or you can 3D print custom wheels. You can find also in the video description the custom wheels. After you're done with the base fitting, you can start priming. The body is clean. I have used Mr. Hobby Mr. Color 1000 primer. This also advisable and applicable for 3D prints and resins. I use as a base primer the 1000 surfacer, and when it's fully covered I have applied 1500 primer. I like the gray primer. Very simple reason, because easily covering the surface and showing exactly where the problems laying around the surface. This useful also for resin molded kits and also resin printed white resin printed materials. That is why I'm using this gray primer everywhere. This gray primer is compatible. This Mr. Hobby Mr. Surfacer gray primer is compatible with either lacquer paints or either automotive paints. So I have wonderful results for both use cases. So you can freely use it. It's curing in few hours after the paint. It depends on how thick surface you make, but generally it's curing in few hours. I have used automotive paint. It is sunset orange, the color code C1X. It is in the video description. And I used this base paint industrial thinner, which is applicable for this automotive paint. This metal sunset orange is a forgiving paint. I did not see any issue. Covered the surface properly. Only interesting thing that I had to apply more than 3 times, so it was around 3, 4, 5 times coats I had to give to have really this shining kind of flip-flop feeling. It's a paint with small reflective particles. Probably that is the reason that you had to give enough layers on it. Don't put thick layers, just apply thin layers. If you use this color, you can use any other colors, you can use any other brands, any other automotive paints, or you can also use Mr. Hobby Mr. Color metallic paints, or you can also use Tamiya LP metallic paints. If you use Tamiya or Mr. Hobby, use leveling thinners. If you use automotive paints, for the automotive paints you also get a base coat thinner on the paint shop. Regarding the interiors, I also primed. As always, primer is helping to get seen the imperfections where additional sanding is needed, because don't forget, if you don't see the imperfection before the painting, after the painting you will see the problem. So this step is crucial to have visible, not just for sticking the paint to it. After the painting, I usually curing with a dryer machine to just speed up the paint curing time. Before applying the water slide carbon decals to the roof, recommending to paint black the base surface, and to the painted black surface only apply the carbon decal. If you do differently, or if you have any material incompatibility problem, then it can bubble up if it's not sticking to the surface. So all in all, recommending that before applying the decal and after apply the base paint, so between the sunset orange automotive paint and between the water slide decal, try to put covering black coat, for example with Mr. Hobby. For this Mr. Hobby, the decals applying well without any surface incompatibility or material issues. and only after apply the clear coat. I used 2-component clear coat, which consists of a base varnish and also hardener, and after the hardener I added a thinner, special thinner for this 2K clear coat, 2-component clear coat. The thinning ratio and the coat ratio is that the base ratio is that one amount of base varnish and half amount of hardener. That was the ratio of this 2-component clear coat, and I added additional roughly half amount of thinner to have a good thin surface and lightweight coats. The first coat can be over a light coat, the second one is also a light coat. From the third, fourth, fifth coat you can go more bigger and thicker coats. The only thing you have to be careful that if the clear coat start not thinning out and not flattening out, if you see any orange peels, you have also an option to thin more, and if you thin more it will fix the surface without curing it. So this 2-component clear coat is a wonderful partner for this job. I'm really recommending to you, but you need to carefully monitor, and you have to use gloves and 3M masks on it. After the 2K clear coat, after drying few days, or if you're speeding up the drying with some drying machine, you can polishing. I used 3M polishing compound. The individual spoiler components were also painted, and after the painting were also varnished similar way like I showed you on the body. For these spoiler components I used just a regular Mr. Color glossy black paint, and after the paint was done for these components I have applied the varnish. The wheels were 3D printed. You can find also the video description, the wheel type and the wheel download link. These are wider wheels, a bit looks and looking point of view, but technically the same wheel size, because I reused the same wheel rubbers, the tire itself, just the wheel itself has changed. I also painted this black. This kit has wonderful photo edge details, masks, front grills. Definitely worthwhile to look at. Paint it. After the paint I also recommending to varnish. Also the photo edge details, all parts should be varnished, because if you're varnishing it's more better handling the attachments, the gluing process of also these small details I also polished. I have masked out the body for the edges of the doors and the windows. I have painted also with some orange, reddish orange with the leather, the seats like a real leather seat, a sports leather seat. I masked out also the interior left and right interiors. The base plate coating got flat black. That's the most forgiving color for the base plates. I have spent some detailing results and energy on the seats. I have cut out and painted the inner parts of the seats with flat black or semi-gloss black. Detailing the seats takes a lot of time, but definitely worthwhile the results. It gives you the real details of a car interior. This gives so much difference compared with generic models. Those parts that were not painted by lacquer paint, I have hand painted with water-based, acrylic-based paints, like Tamiya ones. This is good because you can anytime remove. If you overrun with the hand paint, you can anytime remove the unnecessary paint. After the paint has completed, I have applied some flat varnish. This flat varnish gave a real leather-like feeling. It's removed the glossy surface and I started feeling like a real leather or a real sport leather material. For the inner edges of the dash, the driving dash and the panels, I have applied acrylic pen-based paint that's easiest to apply to the edges. I used epoxy resin glue where it was possible, and I have hand painted the remaining smaller elements, applied the water slide decals, the logos. These extra small details giving you the real feeling of a detailed car. Hey, this is a BMW and Alpha model is very good at the details, so you get many details. And it's only depending on your energy and time how nice you can color it and detailing up. I really like in this Alpha model that I have the seatbelt details, I have the logo, the BMW M4 competition logo. I have the seatbelt details. It really looks like a real BMW interior after painting it. Add some dust and some weathering effect to it now. Pedals, metal pedals, seats, edit the seats to the final place. I was really happy with the interior. I have glued the windows with epoxy resin. Sorry for not showing. I did not have the recording. Maybe in the next video you will be able to see on another model how I'm attaching the window. I felt epoxy resin glue the best for the Alpha model windows. You can find, if you're interested in any other previous alpha model video how I made it on the Audi RS7. You can find the same attachment. For the lamps, I have painted first with silver, after with black, and the silver piece is giving a shiny look and feel through the lamps and the lamp glass. That is my logic, how you can make a realistic lamp. From the black, the silver is shining out, either the front lamps or either the rear lamps red color also. For this specific model, you can also find in the kit photo edge details for these edges, the lamps. The rear lamps, I put extra dark color, the frames. The lamps give pretty decent results. I have painted the rear lamps red with AK colors, red transparent colors. I have attached these external parts again with epoxy resin glue. Epoxy resin glue not hurting the surface if it's already covered with varnish. Without varnish, it can hurt the surface. The ducktail, the brakes. I use this rotary technique and also the sanding pad to give some feeling, some surface to the brakes, like real rotation, simulating like real brake rotation. I have attached the wheels with instant glue. Only instant glue can put to the right place where I'm fitting the wipers. You have to assemble the wipers in alpha model kits. As a result from these photo edge details rotating, it will give a real 3D look and feel of the wipers. And attaching all remaining pieces, spoilers. I have printed custom number plates. For the door openers, you need to tighten a small hole to have properly fitted to it. This is happening with most of the alpha model kits. You don't need to worry on these. Some detailing, add some shading to the edges. Folks, we are done. Thank you for watching. I hope you will enjoy the satisfying results. Thank you for watching Modern Hackers. Please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed.